I attended a training with the owner of our company at DHS in St. Paul several months ago now. It was a full day training on person-centered planning. And a huge part of what we do in relocating folks is planning for a successful transition. We only get to work with them for 6 months. So the plan is really critical because, after that 6 months, we're done. So establishing some sort of continuity, letting people know who they can contact after that time is over, is really important because our involvement is so limited. So that's been, I think, the place in which it's been most helpful is developing those plans based not on what I think the client should be doing down the road or what I think is best for them, but really sitting down with them and engaging with them to figure out where they want to be a year after we're done working with them and doing the best we can to make that happen, I think. My nephew is 8, going into second or third grade. Don't quote me on that. And he came home from his first day of whatever grade that was with one-page summary for one of the other kids in his class. It was a little boy who had autism or was on the autism spectrum, and he actually had worked with his parents together to create this one-page summary of, this is who I am. I'm going to be in your class. These are the things that I like. This is how I'm just like you in all of these ways. These are the ways that I'm unique. And it really, I think it served its intended purpose, which of course was to inform the other kids in the class that this child was going to be there and that his needs were going to be a little different. But it had a sort of secondary purpose where it touched off this discussion in their home between my nephew and his parents, and I happened to be there. And it was a more general, sort of broad discussion of there are people out there with different needs who aren't going to react to the world the same way that you do. And it doesn't mean that they're any less deserving of respect or any less a candidate for your friendship than they would be if they reacted the same way you do. And so I kind of imagined at that point that the power of these one-page summaries can go, I think, a long way beyond. While it's extremely important that it helps kids know how to treat the individual that it's written about, it can have, I think, a more of a ripple effect because it's starting these conversations in the community in a more general way about disability or mental health or whatever the reason for writing it is. And especially because it's happening to someone as young as 8 years old, when he's getting exposed to that idea nice and early. I think it can only make him a more, compassionate, tolerant human being. And it was really, I don't know, I thought it was very cool to see how, this one couple's efforts on behalf of their child or in combination with their child could, affect the whole family that may not ever interact with this kid. I think it can be a really powerful tool.